With a new edition comes a new box set. With a new box set comes new minis. Me, the veteran, and the newbie are going to give you their breakdowns on what they think of their boxes. In this part, I'm going to break down my thoughts on the box set, what I think as a whole, and then we're going to have a look at some minis. So I've got both boxes to compare, the Armageddon box and Leviathan box, and Armageddon is slightly thicker, but has 61 miniatures in compared to the 72 that was in Leviathan. Looking at the art on the front, I think that they've gone two very different directions. I kind of would say the Armageddon one just pips it for me personally. As far as the miniatures go, I think that the Armageddon box has really good Space Marines in it. I also think that the Leviathan box did have good Space Marines in it. The Infernus Marines kind of let down a little bit for me, but that's just personal taste. But the Vanguard Veterans, I don't think they did enough with. I wanted some cooler poses, but I hope the multi-part kit brings that. Whereas the Stone Guard kind of look good enough for me. If I show you the box, you kind of see what I mean. But let me know down in the comments below what you kind of think, who had the best miniatures in, Leviathan or Armageddon. I do like how the rulebook and the lore is separate. I'm going to miss that chunky centerpiece book that this box has got, which is a bit of a shame for me. I quite liked it, just as like a launch box thing. Going forward, I don't like it. I don't like it in the rules, but everything's online now, so it kind of, I don't really use it for the rules. It's more of just a collector's piece. But move that to a side. Let's get in to what we've all come for. I'm going to go and open this box up for the first time now. I am actually really excited. Got my hobby knife ready. Okay. Let's see if it does a satisfying box open. Let's flip this. Whoa! Yeah. Okay. So, straight off the bat, greeted with beautiful, beautiful plastic. Can hear a little bit of rattling, which is concerning. And the sound of bases. Let's have a look at this. So, good old ancient there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start spreading out the Orc side and the Marine side. So we've got all the sprues out. This is the only thing that shares any kind of sprue, which is the Captain and the War Boss. I imagine that this is kind of going to be in the Combat Patrols when they get updated, similar to how we had the Terminate Captain and the Winged Prime in Leviathan. Everything else is separate. The sprue here looks different, so it's not separated any of them out. So the Librarian's not on his own sprue by the looks of it. The Vanguard Veterans are with him, which I'm not sure how I feel about that or how that's going to kind of play out. You can imagine this being the Company Heroes kind of sprue later down the line. Might lead me to believe that they're not going to do a separate kit. Maybe not. Who knows? The Eradicators and the Banner or on the same sprue here, and the jump chaplain by the looks of it, which are pretty cool. The shields are on the guns, and there is a little bit of assembly for the jump packs, but not a massive amount, which I like because I hate putting those together. Now, jumping over to the orc side, boys, just looks like a mess to me at the moment, to be fair. This will be my debut into orcs. I do have this, and somewhere in the house, if you have been watching the channel or look at any of the videos, we've moved. This is the new studio. But anyway, back to this. Juicy art here, which I like. I'm hoping there's something else on the other side, otherwise it's just going that sleek kind of vibe. Or actually, I tell a lie, it is one of those fancy boxes, which I have very much been admiring in Kill Team, as well as a decal sheet, which was bent. But the good thing is it is bent in a place where I don't really care. Actually, not too bad. But yeah, decal sheet. I like that they've got Crimson Fists on there. I think they should be a staple in anything. Crimson Fist for me would have been the box art rather than the Blood Angels. I think not doing Blood Angel specific units, like in the box, obviously makes sense, but kind of, I don't know. I think that Crimson Fist would have been the way to go for me. So this box here, nice artwork on it. Gonna open it up now. Oh, bit of sprue that has come off, but it's just a support sprue, don't worry. So I've got this opened, nicely packaged. Book, nice quality. On the book, quite shiny. I don't know if you catch that on the camera, but the reflectiveness. Nice kind of standard thing that you'd expect from a Warhammer book. Like nice artwork. By the looks of it, a lot of lore. This is obviously the lore book. That's there. Showing all the different orc clans and all of the different Space Marine chapters that are on Armageddon. See the blue boys always there. Then the rule book, then the instruction manual, which we will be cracking open very shortly, and I am very excited to dive into. And then here is the core rules, which, to be fair, this box laid out quite nicely for that. Just each layer going in. I haven't properly had a chance to look through all of this yet, so I'm very much looking forward to kind of going through. And then we got at the bottom of that datasheet cards, which have they? Nope. So datasheet cards, pretty standard cards. There are no kind of embossing or filigree on the side. Quite solid, pretty good. There's no distinction when, oh no, there is tell light. So that's the back of the Marine one, it's the back of the Orc one. Yep. Put that to one side. And now, the last two things, we've got a thick mission pack and the campaign decks. So my final thoughts on the box are, it is good. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Love the models that are in it, the cards, everything that kind of comes with it. There are a few negatives. One being the price, £185 retail price from Games Workshop. Just thought I'd shout out our friends at Tritex for managing to secure us the boxes. Paid for them, not sponsored anyway. We don't get anything back from them. Just if you do order anything from them, just let them know, if you can, that we sent you. It helps us build that kind of relationship with them, where we can hopefully do more fun things in the future. We've discussed doing some launch things at their store, which is going to be fun to kind of do, and maybe a little tournament. So if you're a new player in the area, be sure to look out their socials. We will link everything down below to keep an eye on that. But yeah, price of this box compared to the price of that box, you've got more minis in it, arguably overall bigger minis. I would say the decal sheet is slightly better. I very much like this decal sheet. It is quite cool, but I think this should have been Space Marines, Orcs, 2 decal sheets. It is your launch box. Go all out. For me, and even if it was a exclusive launch box decal sheet that you could only get with the box, it's kind of the perk for getting that box, really. The other thing that I wanted to kind of say, the other thing that I kind of thought, which was a little bit odd, when you got this box, either third party or through Games Workshop, they gave you free things. This year, collectible coin that was only in store and only while stocks last, and it wasn't necessarily just for the box set. I know those are perks, but you're getting people to pay £185 for your box. Just throw them something. The last time I went third party again, I literally got some tokens to do deployment. That was it. You've created a whole new system for your terrain and your objectives. Why not send out a couple of those? I mean, personally, I think they should have been in the box. It's not hard for them to put some cardboard cutouts in, but they could have been a free thing that they could have given out to people, and that would have helped people get into the game straight away. I know they're talking about making your own, doing different things like that. That's all cool, but why not allow people, why not incentivize people to get that through this, through that? If you go third party, you get these cool little card things. If you go through Games Workshop, you get cards and a mat. Last time it was like a game mat, cards, tokens, whatever it was. Even just from a core rules point of view, you've got things like Battle Shock, which don't have tokens for. Now, obviously, you can easily make your own or easily use your own. But when you look at the Horus Heresy, they put this box, £185 for that, like Sadnine, I believe it was, almost 200 quid. You get all the tokens in there as well. And that's not to justify the price, but if you need them, you're new to the game, you might want them. Now, I haven't heard Kev's opinion yet. He probably won't even think about it. But I know that that's a thing that could happen. He's not going to have the train things. He's not going to have those little things that, like, would get him started. He's obviously starting from scratch. So helping people out, have that little narrative thing. You're going to sell three pre-painted terrain, which is amazing. I love that idea. But your objective markers, you could easily just put token, 2 token things, just so you can get a small game going. It's kind of my thoughts anyway. But overall, to not end it on a sour note, overall, genuinely love the box, love the minis in it. I'm about to head over and jump over and actually properly look at some of the sprues, get something built, and then, yeah, get other people's opinions on the box. I'm actually super hyped to get into it. No, it didn't sound like it at the end, but yeah, I am actually really hyped to kind of get into the box, get into the nitty gritty, look at all the options, because it does look like there's a few options in here, and yeah, see what we can do. So let's get our first look at the instruction manual here. Starting with the Space Marines. Captain, a little bit weird, but on the scenic base I kind of think you can get away with that a little bit. What I'm going to do is skip all the way to the orcs. Actually, before I do that, just noticed something. Labelled A, labelled C. You can see that they've greyed out what's not used on this sprue. That is very cool. I like that. So here, when you go through, something to check out. Just a nice little touch that is. But yeah, so I'm going to go through the war boss to start off with. I can see that it is sprue A, so I'm going to find that one. If you can hear that train in the background, sorry. So this is not sprue A. Sprue A. So I've got myself sprue A, which is labelled where exactly? Where's sprue A labelled? I don't know if I'm being blind, but I can't see that. I feel like if you're going to do that, like, that's a good step in the right direction, but just printing an A out there instead of your Warhammer logo probably will help people, because I'll be looking for that letter for days, knowing me, or like a new person could be. So got the war boss. Options are pretty limited with this guy, so we'll get him built and we'll see how it goes. It's been a while since I have kind of made like a cut into a model because of moving and stuff, so this is familiar sounds. Now I've taken the 2 pieces out, I'm just going to clean up any areas. It's one of these push-shoot models, so technically you don't need any glue. Something that I would always recommend doing is either putting a dab of glue in anyway, so especially plastic cement. When you put it in there, that'll melt that plastic a little bit and kind of just help it go in, or just cut a little bit of the nub off. So like if you're looking at it from there, like if I cut that off with my hobby snippers, all it's going to do is stop air pocket from coming in, and then you'll get a piece where it doesn't quite fit and it'll be like that, just because the air pocket won't physically allow the miniature to to kind of fit together nicely. But yeah, clean it up beforehand, because you don't know if there's any parts, like say for instance this here, which you might not be able to kind of get at once you put the model together. So this is the war boss completed. They've done a good job at trying to hide the seams in it. One particularly egregious one here that you might want to kind of glue. I've just kind of lightly placed it into the base for now, because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, and that's what I'm going to do for most of them. That's what I kind of recommend doing, just finding the bases for them, just slightly putting them in. But yeah, all of the seams that you kind of see, I recommend getting, especially the rub-on one, either this or your sprue goo, just to kind of make them go away a little bit more. You can then sand them down and kind of flatten that area out. But yeah, it's a massive model. It's kind of the first ever orc that I've ever put in my hand. I am liking it. I like the threatening look of orcs rather than the kind of goofy nature that they have had, because to me orcs are quite intimidating. Yeah, so I'm going to build up the rest of them now, almost as quickly as I can, because I am very excited to get on with the Space Marines, and if I can get them all built tonight is the goal, ready for painting. If you enjoyed it, if you want to see more content, we have 2 other channels. One's a gaming one, one's a podcast one, that we're going to be posting loads more content now that we moved.